Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna be showing you how to count Elixir and track cycle. So, what you guys have to understand first and foremost is when you play a game. Let's say you play against let's go to TV Royale. You play against like these are all top ranked players. So let's say you play a Golem into this Loon freeze deck. Lumber Loon has to punish Golems when the Electro Dragon's out of cycle, right? This Lumber Loon player will probably have to track the evil Electro Dragon cycle and have only go in when the golden player doesn't have the Electro Dragon or he doesn't have Elixir, right? So this is just an example of like tracking cycle is basically knowing what card your opponent has and what evos they have, or and counting Elixir is knowing how much Elixir have. Pretty self-explanatory. These are all micro interactions and they really just help you win the game and be a better player. So I got like three matches I want to show you how I count Elixir. So there's a lot of tips and tricks to count Elixir, but basically, um, you look at your elixir bar and it's gonna be mirrored by theirs, right? Because everyone gets the same amount of elixir. So let's say we're both at 10 and he plays uh what's it called? A bomber, and then you reactively play something. Like for example, I'm down because I just played furnace and poison and he only played bomber and musky. So this is not a good time to go in. But as you guys can see, he played bomber, musky, and XC, which is at what 11 elixir, and I played 10 elixir, so I'm actually up one. Or I'm up, technically. I don't know, I might have leaked a little bit, but anyway, so at this point I know we're pretty much even. So I just go Valk in the back and he goes Giant in the back, which is fine. And whenever someone plays a card in the back, like you see where I go Valk in the back, it's usually a good indicator that person is probably at full elixir bar. So like let's say you just forget how much elixirs they spent and you don't want to do the quick mental math. I don't do the quick mental math either, but when someone goes in the back, like I probably know they're at 10. Like suddenly if they go like, something like Golem in the back, you can assume they're at 10. So when I say I'm like sometimes I'm like, oh geez, I'm down like X amount of elixir, I'm usually talking about like what's it called? By the way, that was a horrible poison because I could have just counter pushed with the graveyard and would have been fine. Anyway, when I say like I'm down 3 elixir, it's probably because they played like some tank or unit troop in the back, and I'm like, uh-oh, they played some troop in the back. By the way, horrible lines, by the way. Anyway, they played some troop in the back, and then like I can understand, okay, they're probably at 10 elixir, and I'm not, so that's how basically I track their elixir. Tracking cycle is pretty simple. Each card in Clash Royale, you need to play. Once you play a card, you need to play 4 more cards to get it back. So, for example, if you were to play, let's see what he plays. He's probably gonna go Giant in the back, right? But this is what I'm talking about, like how I know I'm down. See, he plays Giant in the back at 10, basically, right? And I was at 7 when he played it, so I pretty much know I'm down 2 or 3 elixir. So I just cycle Berserker. This is just gameplay, right? But I just go for a hut. At this point, I do know he has lightning, so I'm really careful of what I do and what I don't do. So I just get a poison down, get a barbarian barrel, and I place my furnace to make sure it doesn't get hit by the lightning. He opts to do interesting lightning and not lighting my hut, but you know, that's fine. And yeah, at this point, I know he's pretty, I wouldn't say low, but I know he's like, we're both high, because I'm high on Elixir and he's high, right? Anyway, he just goes Giant. At this point, double elixir and triple elixir, like elixir counting really doesn't matter. It's really about what evolutions they have in cycle. So does that make sense? Because um, we it really only matters in single because like single you get punished more easily if you don't know their elixir, right? If you like realize that you're spending too much, you should probably not go for a graveyard. So I mean, it's really important in single, but in double, like I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter. That makes sense. Anyway, I just get a ton of damage from that one push. But keeping track of cycle is really important too because I don't want to push into an evil executioner. So, for example, you guys will ask me, hey Tempest, how do you know when to go in, right? So let's say I get a good counter push, a good size counter push, right? This is good. I mean, first of all, I'm up, right? I'm up a lot of elixir because look at how many troops I have on the ground. And then look at him. He doesn't have a single troop on the ground. Second thing, while I'm up elixir, okay, I can push. But second of all, at especially higher trophy ranges, you need to be counting what they have. So if they have like an evil executioner Obviously, don't push into an evil executioner. If they have an evil witch, do not push into an evil witch. Even if you're up like 5 elixir, the witch is gonna steamroll your push, or like a bowler, right? Do not push into a bowler. So let's say they burn the bowler one lane. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I play against bowler in the next matchup. But it's just keeping track of cycle is so important. So yeah. So in double elixir, like I told you, you do not need to count elixir anymore, but you do need to be counting cycle, right? Just knowing their evos, knowing what they have around ish, what they have in hand, like knowing if they have an executioner. I'm not saying you have to know their whole entire hand like Riley. I'm just saying like be mindful, right? If they have a mini P.E.K.K.A, do not go in. If they have evil executioner, do not go in. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the gist, right? So anyway, he gets a really bad, in my opinion, really bad XC, because that XC basically did nothing, right? Anyway, I get a nice vines and it kills the muskie, which is huge. So, yeah. At this point, I'm just playing it safe because, yes, again, why do I not push? Because he has the mini P.E.K.K.A, okay? I'm going to wait until he doesn't have the mini P.E.K.K.A or doesn't have the XC or Evo XC. The regular XC is okay. The Evo XC it's pardon my language, but it's just AIDS. Anyway, see, he gets one Evo Bomber hit because I wasn't keeping track of his Evo Bomber. Like, if I was keeping track, I could have predicted it. And you guys will be like, oh, it's only one Evo Bomber hit. That's because I got lucky, okay? We've all lost games because we didn't keep track of their cycle, okay? Me not keeping track of his Evil Bomber cycle was one of the reasons why I took 300 extra damage. And how many games have I won by 300 damage? I'll show you 2 right now. Literally, the next 2 games, I won by 300 damage. I lost another game by 200 damage. Like, I'm telling you, when you lose by that little, like, you understand each interaction that you do and each interaction that you fail at is the reason why you could have won or could have lost the game. So, we're playing against Giant, normal Giant beatdown. And you're gonna see he has a weird deck. Like it's not really a super meta deck, but it is what it is. Anyway, you guys can see he burns an arrow, so I'm just kind of confused at this point. So I go in and he goes. At this point, I think he's playing lava, by the way. So that's why I went Berserker, because I thought if he burned the Valk, I thought he was going to have another second. Like, Lava has 2 ground cards, right? Like, I thought I would go Berserker to bait out the other ground card, and then I'll go Graveyard Bar Barrel. But as you guys can see, he doesn't have Lava. He went Boulder in the back. I was like, okay, he's probably playing Jinxie deck, right? But at the same time, I saw the E-Wiz. I was like, hey, he's not playing Jinxie deck. Like, what? I don't even know. So he's not playing Giant Graveyard. He's just playing Giant Beatdown. Anyway. The point is, this is kind of scary, right? But I get a perfect Valkyrie. Like, look, it takes care of the E-Wiz, it comes over, it takes care of the, So, like, a lot of people would, like, lose here, but, I take a lot of damage. I'm not saying I made a perfect defense, but I'm just saying, like, look, it's pretty cool. See? I don't take that much damage, and, that's fine, And it's like, not losing my tower is great. I feel like I made the right call by going Graveyard. I could have defended that better, because I feel like if I could have defended that better, right? And if I defended that better, then I would have taken less damage. I'll probably be in the lead. So I don't think the play was bad to punish the bowler. I think it was just bad that I defended worse. Like, I think I could have defended better. So I just go for a low hut, and that's pretty much it. See, at this point, this is what I'm saying. Counting Elixir, he went Mega Minion back, so I know he was at 10. So I know I was in a good spot, because we were both at 10, so I wasn't really, like, down, you know what I'm saying? He goes Bowler in the back. I obviously didn't learn his lesson, so I pushed, he doesn't have Bowler in cycle. I'm stupid because I didn't keep track of the Evo Valve. This is just reasons why you need to keep track of cycle, guys. I was like, okay, he cycles Bowler, so I can just go in, right? Wrong, because look, he has Bowler, bro. He has Bowler. It sucks, man. It really does. Anyway, I get a huge Vines. Thankfully, the bowler doesn't do anything. But yeah, I didn't keep track of his Evil Valk. I could have gone destroyed there. Like, that's the difference between winning and losing, right? I just get a poison, just DPS down his troops and get some power damage, but I don't know. He's gonna pop a giant in front of this, I'm pretty sure, and that's pretty scary, but as you guys can see, he's up quite a bit of Elixir. I don't know why he popped a giant down there, but I didn't want anything to snipe it, so I played it really low. As you guys can see, he gets a pretty good nado. I should have... Here, guys, just a mistake real quick. Do you see the Valk? I should have played the Valk on the inside left side of the boulder. See, I played on the outside, like the right side. Should have played on the left side, so could have nato it. Anyway, he gets a good nato. Just things I should have done better, because I don't want you guys to do the same mistakes I do, right? That's the whole point of this channel, for you guys to learn. Anyway, activating King, by the way, was one of the best things that he could have done for me, because that King power is really helping a lot, right? So he goes for a Giant, because he just goes for a really aggressive Giant. And the reason why he goes that is because he thinks I'm really low on Elixir, but I'm not. Like, I don't know why. Maybe he counted wrong, but I'm just saying, like, it just shows, like, he didn't count Elixir. He thought it was low, and now look, he's over defending by a lot. Anyway, this really made me mad, because how did that bowler just turn around, insta shoot my furnace and get a splash? But it's fine. But yeah, that one bowler hit could cost you the game. That very easily could cost you the game. Anyway, I predicted his Giant perfectly, because I thought he was going to go with the Giant. I was right, but at the same time, he also bridge blocked my Valk, so that sucked. But it is what it is. I mean, anyway, this Giant gets a hit, okay? Somehow, with the Furnace, King Tower, and a Princess, it gets a hit, bro. What is that? It's fine, though. Well, I know I won, that's why it's fine, but at this point, I was sweating, I can't lie. Anyway, okay, look. He really messed up, because he didn't play his Evo Valk for some reason. I don't know why. I still don't know why he didn't play his Evo Valk. But it doesn't matter. I think I just let the bowler connect, I can't lie. At this point, I knew I just had the base rush in, and I just had to pray for the best. So I get a Vines down, and I get a Berserker just to tank for the Mega Minion. Okay? The Berserker was to keep my hut alive, and keep the Spirit Goblin spawning, because, you know, the Spirit Goblins do quite a bit of DPS, and I win that game. But again, I know I didn't count right, but I'm just showing you, like, how to do it, right? If you see them play the Valkyrie, normal Valkyrie twice, you're gonna know they have the Evo Valkyrie, right? If they play a Goblin Cage, like, this time, the next one's gonna be Evo. Like, you just gotta understand what they have and when to play it. This time, he has Evo Ghost, so against Ghost, right, it's just an example of wanting to keep track of the Ghost, because Ghost can really ruin the game for you. And I always want to have the Evo Valk when he has the Evo Ghost. Not in Psycho decks, but especially in Beatdown decks. Because Beatdown decks, not having an Evo Valk into a Ghost is really bad, because, you know, first of all, it's not necessarily, like, extremely bad. The reason why I say it's bad is because, like, it's so easy to do, like, it's so easy to keep a Valk in Cycle when he has the Evo, Ghost, but that's just a general rule of thumb. You don't have to exactly follow it. Like I think in this game, I didn't keep it 1-to-1 exactly, because I got starting handed. Like, he had Ghost starting hand, but I didn't have Valk starting hand, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And you guys will see here, we're just sitting on Elixir, and I don't know if I should furnace at this point, but I do anyway. So you guys are gonna see, I try not to go Graveyard when he has Mini P.E.K.K.A. And, oh, by the way, guys, do not push into an Evo Baby Dragon, because what he's going to do is play Evo Baby Dragon on defense, right? First of all, it's going to slow your whole offense down. And it's going to defend Walk, right? Because it does do, like, it helps him on defense a lot, because it slows everything down, right? And then he's going to counter push with that same Baby Dragon with the Golem, and you're going to lose. So do not push into him with the Evo Baby Dragon. So as you guys can see, I don't think I go for any Graveyards, because I know he has the Evo Baby Dragon. You guys can see here. So, I just go for a Barbaro just to be annoying. And you guys can see, he didn't want to go for those Zappies. I think those Zappies were one of the reasons why he lost. I think he should have taken the Barbarian hit. But you guys will see. He goes Golem in the back, which is, like, pretty good, actually. I mean, Golem at 103 is one of the best times you can play Golem, if you can, of course. I'm not saying, like, play at 8. Like, if you have 10 at 103, try to play Golem. Anyway, I just get a nice Goblin Hut down. And because I know he has Lightning, I will not be giving him any stupid value from Lightning. So I make sure to play my Furnace right outside the range. It actually targets off the Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is kind of unexpected, but as you guys see, Mini P.E.K.K.A dies. I play Evo Valk, and look, Evo Valk is synced up with his Evo Ghost cycle. So look, the Evo Ghost is basically rendered useless, right? And look, at this point, look, he doesn't have Mini P.E.K.K.A, or he doesn't have Evo Baby Dragon, so I'm not scared at all, right? And now he has Mini P.E.K.K.A, but he had to play something to get to the Mini P.E.K.K.A. That's what I mean when I said he doesn't have Mini P.E.K.K.A. because he didn't have mini P.E.K.K.A right then and there. So at that point, all the tanks have rushed to the bridge already, and he just didn't have it in his hand, right? Anyway, it was Golem. I mean, this is a classic Golem. Like I just beat it like normally. I already made a Golem guide. Obviously, this is Golem Lightning, but you kind of play it. You kind of sometimes I even leak one or two Elixir because just to wait for stuff to come up. Because if I play my Furnace quickly, right, he's gonna always get Lightning value. So the entire concept of Golem is to make sure you always lightning tower your hut or your tower in a furnace, right? There's nothing. If you lightning the hut and the furnace, you are cooked. Like COOCK. Oh no, wrong. COOKED, right? Anyway, he goes lightning, so that was really bad. That's why I punished him because I saw the lightning come down, and as you guys can see, do it pretty well. He didn't have evil baby dragon cycle. You guys would be like, oh, he did have evil baby dragon cycle. I'm stupid. Here's what he should have done then. If he went evil baby dragon there, I probably would have lost. Yeah. But anyway, he was broken on Elixir. Like look how much look how much he's down. Like at this point he was down so much Elixir. That's why I went in. Anyway, and you can see I get a nice win. Kinda gets scary towards the end, but Vines Poison does take it out, and that's the GG's, guys. Good game. So again, Elixir counting, you basically just look for Qs in your opponent. The biggest Q, right, is when they play something back. Another Q when they have low Elixir is when you have stuff coming at them, they play at the very last second. So, if I remember correctly, there was a point in time where my do you see where I just barely put my Valk in this interaction? That's a really good indicator that your opponent or you just do not have a lot of Elixir. Obviously, you know you don't have a lot of Elixir, but you can see the opponent doesn't have a lot of Elixir. If he like my opponent knew I had like 0 Elixir because I played Valk at 4, right? Because I played just barely on time. I was just spamming it. And that's pretty important. That's a big cue. Counting cycle is just pretty simple. Like if you see a card like twice that has an evolution, it's probably gonna have its evolution, depending on how many cycles it is, obviously. Also just normal cards like win conditions you should keep track of. Like if